All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the ultimate field guide for anyone just starting out in cybersecurity. We're going to focus on one tool, one that's probably already on your machine, that can take you from feeling totally overwhelmed to being the most valuable person on your team. So, you did it. You landed your first job as a SOC analyst or maybe a CISO consultant. First off, congrats. But now, you're staring at a fire hose of alerts, a mountain of different tools, and you've got that sinking feeling that you're just swamped. Sound familiar? Yeah. Don't worry, we've all been there. It's completely normal. But what if I told you that there's a tool sitting right there on your computer that can cut through all that noise like a hot knife through butter? I'm talking about PowerShell. And look, forget what you've heard. This isn't just some boring tool for sysadmins. For you, in your role, it is a command line superpower. It's your secret weapon to get faster, smarter, and way more effective. So let's get into it. We're going to turn that little blinking cursor from something you ignore into your most trusted ally on the job. And we're going to do it by building your skills step by step right from the ground up. To make this easy to picture, think of it like we're building a pyramid. First, we're going to lay down a rock-solid foundation, the absolute must-knows. Then, we'll build up the middle with your everyday toolkit. And finally, we'll put that capstone on top, the pro-level skills that'll make you the go-to expert on your team. So, let's start at the bottom, Tier 1. This is all about the non-negotiables, core foundations. You have to get these down cold, because once you do, you'll be able to think in PowerShell instead of just constantly Googling for the right command. And the absolute golden rule of PowerShell is this: verb, noun. It's that simple. Every single command describes an action, a verb, on a thing, a noun. You want to get a process? It's get process. You want to set a service? It's set service. You want to start a defender scan? You guessed it, start MP scan. This makes the whole language so predictable and honestly pretty easy to learn once you get it. Now, the other foundational piece is the pipeline. That's that little vertical bar character. This, my friends, is where the magic really happens. The pipeline is like an assembly line for your data. It takes the output from one command and just feeds it right into the next one. So you can get all the services, then pipe that whole list over to a filter, that's where object, that only keeps the ones whose status is running. Then you pipe those filtered results over to be sorted. It's an incredibly powerful way to chain commands together. Okay, foundation is solid. Let's climb up to Tier 2, your everyday cyber toolkit. These are the practical, bread and butter commands that you're going to find yourself using week in and week out, whether you're hunting down threats or proving compliance to an auditor. Now, how you use this toolkit really depends on the hat you're wearing. If you're a SOC analyst, you're a detective. You're using PowerShell to hunt for clues and signs of an attack. But if you're a CISO, a compliance consultant, you're more like a lawyer. You're using it to gather up hard evidence to prove that all the security controls are working exactly as they should. So for the SOC analysts out there, here is a classic threat hunting one-liner. Attackers love to create new user accounts so they can stick around. This command basically asks the computer, hey, show me every local user whose last login was sometime in the last 2 days. It's a super fast way to spot brand new and potentially malicious activity. And for you compliance folks, picture this. An auditor is breathing down your neck, asking for proof that your servers are patched. Bam. With this one line, you can grab every single security hotfix, pull out just the ID and the date it was installed, and dump it all into a perfect CSV report. You just did in 5 seconds what used to take hours of manual work. You know, a huge part of your toolkit is just knowing what to look for. When you're digging through thousands, maybe millions of event logs, you can't look at everything. You need to focus. These 4 event IDs right here, these are your North Star. Successful and failed logins, a new process kicking off, or a new user getting created. Knowing these by heart will save you precious time when you're in the middle of a real investigation. All right, let's climb to the very top of the pyramid. Tier 3. This is where we unlock the pro-level edge. These are the habits and the techniques that separate the junior analysts from the senior experts, the people who get called in when things get really serious. Okay, I need you to pay close attention here, because this is a game changer. Both of these commands do the exact same thing. They find failed login events. But there is a massive difference. The command on the left pulls every single event log over the pipeline and then filters them. The one on the right, the great one, uses a filter hash table to filter right at the source. On a busy server, this is the difference between waiting 10 minutes or 1 second. And during an incident, speed is everything. Being a pro isn't just about speed, though. It's about being reliable and working at scale. It means using things like try/catch blocks so your scripts don't just crash halfway through a job. It means using invoke-command to run your checks on hundreds of machines at once, not just one at a time. It's knowing how to turn on advanced logging so you can see exactly what an attacker typed. And maybe most importantly, it's about building your own toolkit of scripts you can use over and over again. So there you have it. We've gone from the foundation to the peak of our pyramid. What does this all mean for you right now? Well, it means you have a clear, actionable mission for your first year on the job. You have one primary mission. Your mission brief is pretty simple. First, master the foundations. Live and breathe verb, noun, and the pipeline until they're second nature. Second, build your daily toolkit. Find those repetitive tasks you do every day and automate them. And third, develop that pro edge. Always be thinking about how to make your code not just work, but work fast, efficiently, and without breaking. Look, by mastering these skills, you're not just learning a scripting language. You're gaining a deep, fundamental understanding of how these systems actually work, how to defend them, and how to prove they're secure. You've got the keys now. You can open doors you didn't even know were there. The only question left is, what doors are you going to unlock first?